Hey guys, thanks for stopping by my channel today. My name's Kelly if we haven't already met, and today I'm going to be going over all of my vacation essentials. My boyfriend and I just got back from our vacation. If you want to hear a little bit about that, it was a little different than anticipated, I guess I'll say. I should have a video either right before this or it'll be the one after that coming up. We got back on Wednesday night at about midnight and it's Sunday today, so I still have that vacation glow. We live in Wisconsin, so this is probably the most tan I've ever been. Even this summer, I was so busy and I was working a lot, so I was inside most of the time. I don't even really think I got much of a tan, so this is probably the darkest I've ever been, and I'm really enjoying it. But I wanted to share with you guys a few of my favorite vacation beauty essentials. I'm going to go through a little bit of skincare. We're going to go through some of my favorite hair care items. And of course, we're going to talk about makeup. I think I actually even have a couple fashion finds for you guys. So I'm going to talk a little bit about those things that I took, some of the things that I wish I had taken, and just share with you the ins and outs. So whether you're going on a vacation soon or you're really just looking for some of my warm weather favorites, then just go ahead and keep watching. So I took, of course, my trusty Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. I really like this guy. I also took, and I had never used it before, but I had this from the little birthday gift, the Umbra Tint Physical Daily Defense from Drunk Elephant. This is a tinted broad spectrum sunscreen. I really like this. It has a little bit of a bronzing tint to it. Not a lot, but it has a little bit of a skin tint to it, so it isn't like that chalky white look. I wore this on oh no, I just squeezed a bit out, and that's probably like $1's worth of product that I just accidentally squeezed out. Oh man, don't you hate that? Anyway, I really did like this. I used this or my Ren sunscreen every single day. That was one thing that I was very diligent about, was making sure I had sunscreen on my face. I do suffer from melasma, which I talked about a little bit in my Get Ready With Me video. So definitely having sunscreen on my face so that melasma doesn't creep out any more than it's already going to was really important to me. But this was really nice because it didn't give you that like chalky look that some sunscreens can do. Here's my Ren Clean Screen sunscreen. So this one I used a lot of the time as well. This one you have to make sure though to massage it in and let it sit a little while before you go out, because it does have a little bit of a lighter cast to it. It is a mineral sunscreen, that does happen a lot, but the texture of this is just wonderful. I also took the Pores No More Luminizing Primer from Dr. Brandt. I think I wore this one day on like a no makeup day, and other than that, I think I forgot it. That's the thing. I took so much stuff that it was like I didn't end up using it all. On most of the days we had water excursions planned for the day, like snorkeling or something like that. So I didn't wear makeup for that part of the day. Usually when we'd get back on the ship, take our showers, I would end up putting on some makeup for the evening, but a lot of times I wasn't wearing makeup for the duration of the day. So I didn't use near as much as, what you'd use on a standard vacation maybe, but this is definitely a favorite of mine for like no makeup days, just because it really helps like blur the skin. And of course, I took a couple lip balms. I took the Agave regular balm and then the Agave night mask, which is in the bathroom right now because I had used that earlier today, but I definitely wanted to make sure that my lips were going to be hydrated and protected from just like, sun and heat and wind. So those were definitely important to have with. Now, the only base product that I took with me was the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. The only problem is after about 3 days, this was kind of too light for me. I really wish that I'd taken my MAC Face and Body that I bought right after I went on vacation one year, so it's too tan for me most times of the year. But I love this. I probably could have still used it, but in all honesty, I really didn't feel like I needed a lot of makeup on the trip. I mostly ended up using concealer and just leaving the rest of my skin pretty bare. But this was a really nice light one to be able to use until I got too tan. All right, now for concealers, I took the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. This was really nice to use to just correct some of the like blueness and darkening. So that I would throw on certain days. And then I of course took my favorite Flower Beauty. Last minute, I decided to go ahead and grab a deeper shade of concealer because I was like, oh, maybe I'm going to want something a little bit darker. Part of that was because A few days before we went on our trip, I went and got my lip threaded. I get like little blonde hairs, and when my skin gets more tan, those like pop out, and I didn't want to look like a little boy who's trying to grow out his first mustache. So I went and got my lip threaded. I usually just thread because waxing makes me break out. Usually I don't have a problem when I thread, but I usually try to get my threading done about a week or two before I go anywhere. I completely just was running out of time, so I think I went like 4 or 5 days before we left. And of course, I broke out so bad. Like right here, you can even maybe see some of the pigmentation that's left, but I had like 4 or 5 little bumps, not little, big bumps, that turned into like whiteheads. Ugh, it was gross. Like, so I got to look kind of like I have like lip leprosy for the first 4 or 5 days of the trip. I was really trying to like dose it with everything I could at home to kind of get that to reduce swelling and sort of like dry out before we left. It went away maybe halfway through the trip, but that was really unfortunate. So I thought maybe I'd need something that was more like skin tone matching rather than a little bit highlighting. So I grabbed this, and thank God I did, because honestly, 2 or 3 days into our trip, I was way too tan. Like this guy, the one night I got ready for dinner and I decided to put on a little bit more makeup, and Jeremy was like, "Oh, you look so light." And so it was like this part of my face was way lighter than the rest of my body. So I was glad, and I switched to this for the rest of the trip. So love that. The one thing about this is because it is definitely a more high coverage concealer, I just used a very small amount of it on a really damp beauty blender just to give it a little bit more of a sheerness. I did appreciate though that I could use a little bit more in this area where I get the majority of my melasma. I did take, this is like my super old bottle of those Cover FX Sun-Kissed like bronzer drops. I don't even think I used these. It was just like, I just wanted quick and easy stuff, so I didn't even use these, and to be honest, I think that they would be too light for my skin after the first couple days anyway. The bronzer that I did use the most is the Diffused Bronze Light from Hourglass, their ambient lighting bronzer. This guy was great. I love that it's just like kind of sheer and glowy. If I wanted something a little bit more extreme at night, I did go ahead and use my trusty old Bahama Mama. This guy is getting like so old and sad. I really want to use this up this year. I think I'm gonna do a project pan. I mean, I've obviously hit pan on this already, but I'm really looking to use up some of my collection and really focus on using a lot of the things that I already have. So I'm thinking about doing a project pan for this year. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that. Just seeing a collection of products that I'm gonna try to get through this year, and I can sort of give you guys updates. Maybe try to do a few different looks with that collection, just, you know, to celebrate using some of the stuff that you have. Anyway, this guy came in handy because it's a little bit more of a deeper tone. It is more of a matte bronzer, but I definitely used it to contour a little bit more. It also makes a great eyeshadow. So for blushes, I brought these 2 Flower blush bombs. You guys know I love these. I'm wearing one of them today. I did do my chatty get ready with me about the trip and use some of this makeup. So if you guys want to see that, if the video isn't up already, it will be up soon, and you'll be able to hear a little bit about our trip, mostly about what went wrong. But these are really nice. This is Melon and Nectar. I have Nectar on today with one of the others over the top that I'll tell you guys about. But I love these. They're so easy to put on. It was really quick and easy. I found that on vacation, I liked the deepness that my skin was getting, so I just wanted a pop of freshness on my cheeks and really focused on like finishing my eyebrows, doing my eyelashes, and most of the time, that's really where it landed. Threw on a lip gloss and I was good to go. But there were certain nights that I would like dress up a little bit more and put on a little bit more makeup, but I just found that I liked letting my skin be. I know Jeremy really enjoyed that. He likes it, you know, the less makeup I have on, the better, I think. So I just was going with that, you know, beach princess look. So anyway, had those blush bombs, and then I took the Alamar Cosmetics Colorette Blush Trio. This I got in BoxyCharm, and I really love this. This has 3 shades. They're all shimmery. I used Castaway and Scorcher a lot. I would mix the 2 together. Once I got more tan, I felt like this was a little bit too light, but these 2 are really pretty. So you have, honestly, a huge array. Like, this is what I used most days. It's super shimmery and glowy. That is what I have. I think I put Scorcher over the Nectar, so that's what you guys can see here. And then I also took this just because it's like, I knew I was probably going to get tan, and you definitely have to have tan skin to use this guy. So I don't even think they make these anymore, but this is the Urban Decay Afterglow Blush in Bang. Now this looks pretty scary in the pan, but if you use a loose, kind of like fluffy powder brush, you can get a beautiful sun-kissed cheek look out of this, like almost like that little bit sunburned look. I love a very like flushed cheek look as long as the rest of the makeup is pretty simple, and that's really what I did. This is a really pretty one, but because it's so pigmented, I get to wear it like in August if I've seen some sun, and maybe when I'm on vacation. So I wanted to take advantage of that. Now, I also had this Becca Afterglow kit. This isn't available anymore, I don't think, but I know they have done things like this in the past where it's little minis of blushes and highlighters. So this has Moon Glow and Rose Gold and Topaz, and then it has a couple blushes in it as well. This I used like today. It's mostly, actually it might be all, yeah. It's just the Rose Gold highlighter and the blush in Wild Honey. So this is really great just for a quick dusting of eyeshadow. So I knew I could use this both as shadow and highlighter and blush. Brought that along as well. Really enjoyed having that with me. Now, I really didn't end up using highlighter much at all. I did take this Shape Tape Glow Wand with me in case I wanted to do a little bit of like a natural finish. I just found that most days I didn't want to take the time though. I'm a lot of days just put on the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. And I know I talked about this in my recent comparison when I tried this guy out. So I was like, gosh, this reminds me a lot of the Charlotte Tilbury. It's maybe just not as shimmery. So I wanted to actually swatch these today just to compare them. So I have the Tarte Shape Tape Glow Wand in the shade Dream. And then I have the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter in number 3, which is the light medium shade. So I'm gonna put these on. I think the Charlotte Tilbury has a little bit more, so this here, if you guys can see, is the Glow Wand, and this is the Charlotte Tilbury. So if I take these out, the Charlotte Tilbury has a little bit more of a beigey pink, whereas this one is really like a nice neutral, almost neutral warm. But I mean, boy, they're about, as far as products go, they're going to be about the same with each other. I am going to do a little math and ounce for ounce, see how expensive these are next to each other, and I will pop it up on the screen because that would be really interesting to see, because this guy has a whole fluid ounce in here. So yeah, and this only has 0.2. I have a feeling, even though Charlotte Tilbury is pretty expensive, I have a feeling this is going to end up being more expensive per ounce. That Charlotte Tilbury is really meant to be used under makeup, over makeup, however you want to use it. I oftentimes at night would just throw a little on and then put concealer on and just really have that like glowy look. I also took this highlighter. This is the little mini in Vanilla Quartz. This is definitely one of my favorite Becca highlighters. I love the Becca highlighters, and I really just wanted something that I knew I would enjoy. It's the one that I have on today, and it's just like warm but not gold. So I really enjoyed that. So for brows, I really pretty much took my normal arsenal. I took my Gimme Brow. This is shade number 4. It's a little bit warmer than the other one I have. And then I took 2 Ardell Stroke-A-Brow shades. I took dark brown and medium brown. Most days I ended up using medium brown. Today I am wearing dark brown just because it's the one that I grabbed. I like dark brown further out on my tail, but in the middle it gets a little bit more intense, and I realized that today when I put it on. So got a little bit extra dark eyebrows, and then my 24-hour brow setter. So it was so nice. Most days I would actually just throw through the Gimme Brow and maybe the 24-hour brow setter, but a lot of days I just use the Gimme Brow for a little bit over my microblading. And then if we were going out to dinner or, you know, doing something a little bit more special, I would throw in some definition with the Stroke-A-Brow. So if you guys have seen any of my favorites videos, you'll know that I love those, and I definitely got a lot of use out of them. Now, I took 3 mascaras. Of course, you guys know I don't go anywhere without my L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black. That, of course, went along. I took the Voluminous Lash Paradise just in case I wanted like an extra oomphy look. Now, this was definitely the star of the show, though. This was the Caution Mascara from Hourglass. I've recently just been using this. I got it in a mini. I talked about it in a recent video, but you guys, this is so budge proof. There was one night that we decided to go watch the Packers game from the hot tub outside in the like adult area. By the way, what a tragic game. But I guess if you have to watch a sad football game where your team loses, you might as well do it in a hot tub, right? So that night, all I had on was like my eyebrows. I think I maybe had a little concealer and mascara. When we were sitting in the hot tub, some of like the bubbles, because my waist is so short that usually when I'm like in a hot tub, it's like up to here. Some of that was like splashing up onto my face, and I had told Jeremy, I'm like, I'm glad I'm not wearing any makeup on the lower half of my face. I wasn't too concerned, but I was like, oh, maybe like the steam of the hot tub. Well, then it started raining, and not just sprinkling, but pretty darn good rain. And we're kind of looking at each other like, well, we're in a hot tub. We're just gonna stay. So we stayed through the rain, and I kept looking at him and I was like, do I look like a scary raccoon? Like, how's my makeup? He's like, it's fine. Nothing moved, and it didn't. My eyelashes looked great. So if you're looking for a great waterproof mascara, this is one I'd recommend. It's obviously ridiculously expensive because it's Hourglass, but if it works, and that's all that matters. So I did also take a couple eyeliners. I took my Kat Von D tattoo liner, and I also took the roller liner from Benefit in the brown color. This is a felt tip pen. I don't love these, but I wanted a brown. However, this is not a super saturated brown. I like the tone of it. It's, you know, kind of like a cooler neutral brown, but like I had to go over it several times to get it super saturated. Of course, tattoo totally rocks. So really though, I think maybe I put each of those on like once. So didn't really need that, but it was nice to have. And then I did take 2 of the Glitter and Glow shadows from Stila. I did end up wearing this one night. I don't think I wore this one, but it was nice to have a little bit of an option if I did want to wear a sparkle. But like I said, I just didn't end up wearing a ton of makeup, but I was glad I had these for the option. That's honestly like how I am. I totally overpack. I felt like I was taking so many clothes, but when you're gone for 11 days, and you think like, well, okay, you obviously have a daytime outfit, maybe that's like a swimsuit, whatever, but then you want to like get a little dressed up at night, so then you have like 2 outfits a day, you need to have shoes, all that stuff. But when we were unpacking, when I got home and I was like doing laundry, I was like, you know what, I wore most of the clothes that I took, so I like having the options. I'm an overpacker. It's always going to be who I am. I don't care. Now, I knew I was being excessive, but as I was packing, I just could not decide. I was like, all you need is 1 palette. Just take 1 palette, that's all you need. But I just couldn't do it. The first one I grabbed though was the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I thought that just looking at the clothes that I took and, you know, some of my outfits and thinking like, oh, this would be nice. I've got some options if I do want to do a deeper eye, but I also have those like light peachy shades for something simple. This is probably what I wore most of the time, but I think I put on eyeshadow not every day. So a lot of the nights, you know, I really didn't put much on, or if I did, it was just like a simple wash of one color. So I would say there were maybe 4 nights that I did an eye look, and most of the time it was simple. I think there was one night that I did like a little bit more dramatic look, but I also, again, like I said, used this Becca. I also took the Zodiac palette, the collab with Kathleen Lights and ColourPop. I did use this one as well a decent bit. Of course, you guys know I love that Libra shade. I thought about just leaving this whole palette and taking my little single that I have of the Libra, but there are a couple other shades in here. I think one day I used the Aries and the Leo to make a really pretty sunsetty look, so I really enjoyed that. One palette that I took and I don't even think I used is this Bird of Paradise palette, and honestly it's not because I don't like it, because I do really like this. I have a video using this look. I'll link it up in the bar, but I just didn't grab it, and I think it's just, like I said, I didn't do a lot of makeup, and this almost leans to the pinky side of coral, and I was looking for more just like peachy most days. So that guy didn't get used, but that's all right. Then let's talk a little bit about lips. So I think lipstick is probably where I went a little overboard. I took all of these for 11 days. And I think I might actually be missing one in here. So I took the Fenty Gloss Bomb in Cheeky, and this is the sort of orangey corally shade from the holiday collection. It's what I have on, although I feel like most of it's worn off through me talking through these couple of videos. But I did take this one. I also took, of course, Fussy, which I think is the one that is not in here anymore because it's back in my purse where it belongs as a staple forever and ever. Amen. 2 lip liners. I took the, of course, Lip Cheat from Charlotte Tilbury in Pillow Talk, and then I also took this Bite with number 026 in case I wanted something more pink. I also took the Buxom Powerful Lip Plump in Glowing. This is just a nice little like nude shade. It's almost like a tinted balm. I used that quite a bit. I took ColourPop's Lippy Stick in Lumiere. Surprised I never used this one, but I just don't think this is like really the only lipstick really that I took, but I never wore it. Took the NARS Orgasm Lip Gloss. I think I did wear that at one point. And let's see, what else do we have in here? Oh, I did wear this one a couple times. I took my Bite Agave Lip Mask in... well, I can't find the name of this one, but I think it's Crushed or Smashed or something like that. It's more of like a pinky shade. That was really nice. It stays on and it really moisturizes your lips. So the only other one I took, of course, was my Ex-Girlfriend from Urban Decay. This is a favorite of mine. I mean, there were a few in here that I didn't use, but I guess I did use quite a few. So again, it was mostly just a lip gloss. I usually just defined my outer line like I did today. I have Pillow Tuck on and then just threw on a lip gloss or a clear balm. You know, it was really pretty simple lip looks for me. All right, so let's dig through here. I'm not going to go through this entire like bag because you guys will get bored, but I just wanted to share a few of the things that I took with me skincare wise that I used a lot of. So what I took for cleansers, I took 2 with me, and I'm actually glad that I took both. I had the Paula's Choice Clear Cleanser. This is the pore normalizing cleanser. It's for blemish prone skin, and I was really just looking to help like with this situation that I had going on. And then I also took the Ultra Facial Cleanser from Kiehl's. I ended up getting at Ulta after the holidays. They were like clearancing out some of their sets, and Kiehl's had a little set with this guy and the Ultra Repair Cream, which I really enjoy, and a couple other, is that what it's called? Ultra Repair Cream? It's in here. We're gonna get to it. Anyway, so I really love these, and I just got this little set because it was on clearance and it was going to be good travel sizes. So I was definitely glad I had both because this started feeling a little bit drying on my skin. So I switched to using this one once this had sort of started clearing up, and this was the one that I used. I really like this. It just cleans off all my makeup so well. So definitely glad I had this one along. And I really kept the rest of my like skincare regimen pretty simple. The only 2 things that I took were the C Firma Vitamin C Serum and this little guy of Good Genes. So this really, for me on this trip, replaced my Pharmacy Honeymoon Glow. They are both lactic acid treatments, and I just wanted to have something simple to keep my skincare going and give me bright, even skin. So that was pretty much it that I took for skin treatments. I took the Ultra Facial Cream. That's the one that was in that travel set from Kiehl's. I love this. This is so nice. It's like a no frills, but so soothing on your skin. Just really feels great. I also did take the Ultra Repair Cream, which is from First Aid Beauty though. So this is, I would say, a little bit more intense. I used this 1 or 2 days after we had a ton of sun, and I just really wanted to quench my skin. So the third one that I was using was the Drunk Elephant Proteini Polypeptide Cream, and this I really just used as my daytime moisturizer, unless it was a day that my skin was feeling a little extra dehydrated, and I would go ahead and go through with the Kiehl's. But this is a really nice lightweight one that I've been enjoying trying out. I think I got this in like a birthday kit from Sephora. Of course, Drunk Elephant is pretty pricey, so it's been nice to get to try out that guy. And that's pretty much it for, you know, your regular skincare. I have a couple other things that I wanted to mention. I really love this Copacabana Bronze Glow Oil from Sol de Janeiro. And I got this as a gift last Christmas from a girlfriend of mine, and she kind of got it knowing that I was going on vacation. She gave it to me in 2 shades, but I do really like this more bronzy shade. It's nice to put on your legs when you're looking for a little extra glow, if you're kind of looking to fake a tan. I usually mix this in with moisturizer. I actually usually mix it in with the Boom Boom cream. I actually remember that I specifically scooped out a little bit out of a travel size to put it in with another travel size to make a big full one, because I really like that moisturizer. It's really hydrating, and the scent of it now just makes me think of vacation. I've used it now on 2 vacations with Jeremy, so it just kind of has that wonderful memory for me. But I also have the Brazilian Crush body fragrance mist. So this was something that I would use when I was just looking for like a quick boost of scent. It doesn't last super long, but it is really just that same scent that's in the Boom Boom cream. That would be one thing that I missed having, was moisturizer, like body moisturizer. I thought I had some in. Luckily, I felt like my skin didn't get too dry, but by the end, my legs definitely could have used some more moisturizer. So that would be one thing that I wish I'd had. Also, a skin oil. I didn't bring my rosehip oil or like my squalane oil, and I wish that I had, because, you know, I thought like, oh, I'm going to be in humid climate. It's going to be fine. I'm not going to really want a lot of hydrators. And it was dumb, because again, we were in so much wind. We were in so much salt water. My skin was really parched. So that would be one thing that I would recommend to you guys, is making sure that you have something like that with you. Since we're on the subject of fragrances, I wanted to share with you guys the fragrances that I took. I took Juliet Has a Gun in the scent Sunny Side Up. So this is almost like, kind of like a sandalwoody, like beachy scent. To me, this just smells like summer, so I thought it would be really nice, and it's also lightweight. And then I took the Kat Von D Saint. This is like lightly floral, lightly sweet, just a really easy one to like throw on and not have to worry about. And then the other one I took was the Jimmy Choo Eau de Parfum. Now, did I talk about this perfume in a recent video? I got this because of a coworker at work. And it's funny because I also watched a video where Kathleen Lights was talking about it, and I was like, well, now I definitely need this perfume, because I think Kathleen and I have very similar, to a point, like very similar scent preferences. So this is like that sexy date night perfume. Jeremy really likes this one, so I wanted to make sure to bring that one along. So that was the scents that I took. I hope this is like kind of helpful to you guys. I know I'm like talking fast just to kind of like get through it all. All right, so that's gonna be it for some of my skincare. Like I said, really, I felt pretty confident in what I brought with. I just wish I had a more nourishing skin oil, and that would be something that I would definitely recommend to you guys. Even if you're gonna be in a humid climate, you have to consider, you know, the weather. If it's gonna be windy, if you're gonna be in the salt water a lot, all of that stuff can really dehydrate your skin. So going into hair care. Now again, same thing. You think, oh, I'm going to be in this like humid climate. I want to make sure I'm protecting my hair from frizz. I knew that we had, well, if everything had gone as planned, we would have had 4 water type excursions. So I was like, well, my hair's going to get wet in salt water every single one of those days. So I'm going to want to rinse and cleanse my hair all of those days, which, if you guys know me, I wash my hair maybe every like 5 to 8 days, depending. That was a lot for me. I think I told you, I'm like, I have washed my hair more times on this vacation than I have like in the last couple months. But it was definitely needed just because of that like salt water from the ocean. I don't think we ever actually got in the pool, so I didn't have to worry about chlorine. But for shampoo and conditioner, I took the Avapuiwell Ginger Moisturizing Lather Shampoo and the Keratin Intensive Treatment. Now, if you guys don't know, I'm a professional hairdresser. I own a Paul Mitchell Focus Salon, and I do also work for Paul Mitchell as a national educator. This is by no means sponsored in any way, but Paul Mitchell is the hair care that I like to choose and enjoy in my own hair. So these were great because they are very hydrating. This is a sulfate-free cleanser, and I just found that even though I was going to have to wash my hair really probably like 6 times, at least 5 times, I didn't over dry my hair. So these are great ones. It lathers up so nice, and the keratin in it, I feel like, helps protect my hair from extra damage. Now, I did also bring the Paul Mitchell Super Skinny Serum that has a piece of my hair attached to it. That's awesome. So this is a defrizzing and smoothing conditioner. So obviously I was thinking like maybe some humid weather. I wanted to make sure that my hair didn't get too frizzy. I had a feeling I was going to leave my hair fairly natural with my waves a lot of the days, just because I was going to be washing it so much. There wasn't really a point in heat styling it. If I was going to be talking about hair care, I probably should have like tried to look a little bit more like responsible and knowledgeable hairdresser in this video, but this is literally my hair that I woke up with, and I just stuck a couple pins in my bun to secure it for the day and threw a headband in. So I'm kind of pretending to have like messy cute hair, but it really is just the way that I woke up. No judgment, hopefully. I just love headbands though. Like, these make you look like you tried a little harder than you did. If you haven't seen my ways to wear headbands video, I will link that up above. I did that this last summer because it's definitely a staple of mine. I did use a few headbands on my trip too. So I took a couple more like tropical printed ones just because I knew there were probably going to be days that we would, like, let's say go do an excursion. I would want to come back and, you know, just rinse my hair really quick, throw it up in a messy bun or braid it or something, and then just throw a headband in with it to make it look more polished. But anyway, so check out that video if you haven't seen it. But this really does help reduce the frizz of the hair. However, the one thing that I wish that I had brought with me, and I, again, just wasn't thinking, almost along the lines of oil for my skin, I wish I had brought an oil or a leave-in conditioner for my hair that was a little bit more hydrating. This one isn't quite as moisturizing, so I wish that I had brought something that was more nourishing, and I just didn't even think of it. So that would be one thing that I would think about. I always tell people, you have to think you are getting sun exposure. Think about like what that does to your skin. You're also getting like a lot of wind exposure, and to me that's more damaging than sun. Like, everybody talks about, oh, my hair was out in the sun, but I tell people, like, if you see a flag that's on a pole, you see the end of that flag after it's been up for a while, it's very like frayed. That's from the wind, right? So you have to think that that's happening to our hair all the time. So you really need to baby your hair when you're going to be in a lot of wind. And I wish that I had taken my own advice. So the two styling products that I took, I kept it pretty simple. I know that both of these work for me. I took the Avapui Wild Ginger No Blowout Hydro Cream and also the Paul Mitchell Sculpting Foam. So these are both tried and true products of mine. I've been using sculpting foam since the day I became a hairdresser 20 years ago. This smells like vacation and it works really well because it is very hydrating with a dose of Avapui in it. So you're going to get that like definition that you need if you have curly hair, but it does also, it honestly will cast your curls just a little bit. So I usually put a good amount in, and then once it's fully dried, I either just use my hands to break that up or use a cool blow dryer just for more of a more natural, like not quite as casted curl. The other product, this No Blowout Hydro Cream, I use this more on my mid shafts and ends to help really hydrate the hair and leave a softer effect. So this I kind of do from scalp to ends, and this I do more on the ends where I need a little bit more texture, but also some smoothing. So this does help your hair dry faster as well, which is always appreciated. And like I said, I pretty much just let my hair air dry. Oh, maybe I did one day. I did blow dry my hair like once and used a curling on it twice, including this travesty of my curling iron burn, which I'm sharing in my other video if you want to hear about that. And then the other one that I brought along with me, which I was glad to have, is the Paul Mitchell Gloss Drops. This is a frizz-free defining polish. You know, obviously by the end of a day, if you've been out in the wind, your ends can look a little ragged. So I enjoyed pumping this in and just being able to smooth out my curls before we would go to dinner. So that's really pretty much it for my hair care. These are all tried and true favorites of mine. Let me know if there's one that you might snag for your next trip. All right, so we have talked about makeup. We've talked about skincare. We've talked about hair care. Now I want to talk a little bit about fashion. Now, unfortunately, I was just talking to Jeremy today and I was like, man, we did not take many pictures of us. Like, we took some footage when we were snorkeling. We took some footage like of some of the places that we went, but we only got a few pictures of us. And I feel like most of the time that was when we were like in the water. So it's like we have swimsuits on. So I didn't really get many pictures of what I wore. So I just want to share with you a couple pieces that I got. A few of these I'll be able to link down below, but one of them I'm not sure if you'll be able to find anymore. But I know from previous cruises that it is good to have a jacket with you. I told Jeremy on the last trip, like, hey, I know you think it's like tropical and we're gonna be wearing shorts and tank tops the whole time, but not only can it get a little breezy on the ship, especially at night if you're outside, but in the ship, it can get pretty cold. So going to dinner, it's like, okay, I am too young to be wearing like a shawl, but I don't want to have a coat on. So I was thinking that a denim jacket would be really good because you could dress it up or dress it down. So that's exactly what I got. This one I just got from JCPenney. One night I was like scanning their clearance section, and I think I got this for under 20 bucks. This is an A&A. This is a medium, and it's a little bit more of a boxy shape. I think I probably could have gone with a small if my arms weren't so darn big, but I think the medium works okay, and I definitely utilized this a lot. I also utilized it in the airport on the way home, so it was a good one to have. So that's something that I definitely recommend if you are going to be cruising, is to make sure that you have a lightweight jacket that you can dress up or dress down, just because you'll find that layering is really key. All right, so now let's get into my last minute Amazon purchases. I decided that I wanted to get a couple maxi skirts before we go. I love wearing maxi skirts as like almost like a swimsuit cover up for the bottom, and I know that I use them in my everyday as well, so I purchased a few. I don't have one of the maxi skirts that I got, but I'm gonna put a picture up here, and I will also leave a link down below. But it's just your basic maxi skirt. It's like got the fold over waist, and I bought it in black, I bought the olive, and I bought the like slate or charcoal color. I used all three of them on the trip. They're really nice for the price. I think depending on the color, it was between $15 and like $20. So very inexpensive. The fabric is a little bit thinner. I got it in 2 sizes, and I decided to get the larger size just so that I didn't have to worry about it being a little tight on my butt, because it's a little sheer. So I found that even with that, I have a smaller waist. So sometimes if I size up to fit my hips and my butt, the waist can be too big. And in this case, that wasn't a problem. The fold over waist was just the right size. So I would definitely recommend, if you are curvier through your hips, you might want to do that. I loved them all, and I definitely will get some great use of them in the spring and summer as well. So while I was looking at those skirts, I found a couple other skirts, and these were like 25 bucks. But I mean, you're not even going to be able to tell, but these are like a full length skirt, very flowy and cute. I'll put a picture up of a girl that looks better in it than I do, but these I really enjoy, and I got it in 2 colors. I got this more like leopard print. This is called the yellow shade. They have quite a few different prints, and then I got it in this like teal kind of creamy black. So I bought both of these, and I was going like, oh, I don't really need both. And when I tried them on, Jeremy was like, I really can't pick. I like them both. And I'm so glad that I kept both of them. They were about 25 bucks. They're super comfortable. And one of the things that I did is I found, you know, for me, because it's more of like a flare, I went true to size. What I would recommend is, if you have a thicker middle, or, you know, you aren't more of like an hourglass, I would recommend sizing up, because this waist is a little bit of a tighter waistband. I found that for me, true to size worked great, but if you find that you're a little bit bigger in the middle and you have like smaller legs, I would recommend sizing up a little bit. That would just be my personal opinion, but you can always check the reviews as well. Usually, most days, I just wore these like with a little black tank top, but I could see, you know, pairing this with a lot of different things. So was super glad to have these. So those are definitely a few of my favorite fashion finds for this trip. I hope you found that enjoyable. Like I said, I also recommend having a couple headbands. If you do watch my headband hairstyling video, I did link, I think, this pack and a different type of headband in that video as well. So this was a long one. I hope you didn't find it to be too rambling, but I just wanted to share some of the things that I took and enjoyed on our trip. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, thank you so much for sticking through this long video. And to those of you that are subscribed, I appreciate your support so much. You have no idea what it means to me. Don't forget to click the notification bell. It really does not only make sure that you can see all of my videos, but it helps my channel out personally, and I would really love that. Please let me know down below if any of these items are things that you're going to take on your next vacation, or like I said, they'd just be great to have once the weather gets warm again. Hopefully sooner than later. So thank you guys so much. It's always great to talk to you guys, and I will see you really soon.